Well, happy Sunday. Glad that everybody's here. Or I guess some people are still on their way here. Since I was late, somebody might come and say, oh, she's not even going to show up. She probably still hung over from her birthday drinking, which would have been the case yesterday. I'm going to be honest. I'm not even going to try to lie. I just had a little bit too much fun, but I still have one bottle of champagne left. I think I'll just save it till like, I don't know, something, maybe Labor Day, something like that. I'll save it for another occasion. So anyway, it's looking like we have 26 questions on the show today. This will be our third show almost in a row. I just skipped one. Did I skip Friday and Saturday? Yeah, so here we are again. We got 26 questions for those of you who like to keep track. Let me get started because this is gonna be long. Young man is 22 to 27. He's Latino from San Antonio, Texas. The female is 22 to 27 and she's black. Tell me the issue. I have a crush on my girl best friend and I don't know how to approach her without making it awkward. I am 25 and in a situation that I appreciate some advice about, mainly how to approach it, not whether I should or not. A few weeks ago, I reconnected with the young lady. She's 24. I used to know through a mutual friend. Since then, we've been hanging out a lot just one on one, and honestly, the connection has been unreal. We have amazing chemistry, bounce off each other so naturally, and enjoy so many of the same things. It doesn't feel forced, it just clicks. Yesterday, we spent literally 10 hours thrifting together, and we both agreed it was the most fun either of us has had all year. She mentioned multiple times how much she enjoyed it, and I felt the same. On top of that, she'll call me randomly just to talk, and she's always warm, attentive, and genuinely interested in spending time together. It's not surface level. At this point, I've caught some real feelings. I'm pretty sure she might feel something too, but I also know how easy it is to overthink things when you're in your own head. That said, I'm not looking for a vote on whether or not I should tell her. I've already decided I want to be real about it. What I'm looking for is advice on how to bring it up in a way that respects the connection we've built without making it weird or overly dramatic. I'm not trying to come in hot with some confession of love speech, but I do want her to know that I see her as more than just a friend. How do I keep it honest, low pressure, and respectful of whatever she's feeling too? I'm trying to remember what was the name of that movie I used to like to watch. Brown Sugar. And it was the same situation. They were friends, and then I don't remember who caught feelings first, but one of them. And then uh, so what he did was wrote a note that said, "I don't want to be your friend anymore. Can we be more than friends?" Something like that. Some little note he wrote, and there was a checkbox for yes and a checkbox for no. So check that movie out because I thought that was real smooth, and it was cute. It was no pressure. I loved it. I used to watch it. I had a DVD of it. I don't know what I did with it. I can't find it, but I used to watch it like religiously at least once a month. But that little dance he used to do, and when he says, "You act like I'm not shit." She says, "You ain't." I loved it. I mean, just everything about that movie. I just loved it. Queen Latifah's in it. Boris Kojo is in it. Um, and then Sanaa Lathan and what's his name? Tay Diggs are the two stars. But yeah, check that out. Check out that scene, and if you can watch that whole movie, it'll give you a real idea of how to go about it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, okay, for the good part, I like Brown Sugar. Yeah, the soundtrack is a bomb. And for like the most dysfunctional relationship you've ever seen in your life, War of the Roses. Because that ending scene when she was dying and she still flung his hand off her, I was on the floor. So yeah. So anyway, that's would be my suggestion. You want to do something cute, and I think that movie would be good inspiration for you. Other than that, it's gonna be like you said, it's gonna come off as some kind of, confession of love kind of thing. I mean, I don't know a way around it without being, direct in some way, shape, or form. Because you would have to, say, I'm really feeling you, girl, or you're gonna have to tell her something. You just can't come out and just say, oh, let's, I want to date you. I just really think it would be better if we dated or something. I don't know how you're gonna do that. I can't think of anything, but what immediately came to mind was how Tay Diggs and Sanaa Lathan did their little thing with that note. So check that out. I suggest you try that. Let's move on. Question number 2. This is a female, 20 to 34 age group. She's Caucasian from Northampton in the UK, male 28 to 34 as well. Summary issue. Partner and I are constantly butting heads because, quote, I don't listen. My partner is 30 and I'm 31, and we've been together for almost 2 years. At first, everything was wonderful, and about 8 months later, we moved in together. But in the last 3 or 4 months, it feels like we are constantly at each other's throats due to a lack of communication on both sides. The problems began when he started screaming at me for not listening clearly to his instructions on how to clean the shower. If not followed to the exact letter, I was immediately berated for not listening and called stupid because I can't follow instructions. Are you still there? That would have been enough to have me packing my stuff and leaving. These explosive outbursts are usually caused by some very minor inconvenience where he spirals out of control and needs to find someone to blame. And it's me 95% of the time. A few months ago, began recording some of his outbursts in my voice memos app. There are now hours of audio of me being called useless, a moron, an idiot, and many, many more hurtful names because I missed an instruction or didn't do something exactly the way I was told to. When I try to talk to him about it, he tells me that the outburst is something that he doesn't know how to stop. In the beginning of our relationship, he was seeing a therapist and was medicated, but now he stopped taking his meds and stopped seeing his therapist. He has given me multiple ultimatums to change my disrespectful, selfish behavior, which is not listening. But there has been little to no action on his side to deal with his explosive temper. However, when I try to bring up his temper, I'm reminded that if I would just listen to his instructions, the blows wouldn't happen in the first place. We are now co-owners of a house, and I can't help but feel like a breakup could be right around the corner if I do something as small as buying the wrong size bottle of olive oil. This relationship has begun feeling less and less like a relationship and more like a dictatorship. He tells me he doesn't want to feel like a drill sergeant, but will immediately say he doesn't trust me to complete simple tasks such as wiping down counters because I can't listen. There always seem to be conflicting opinions, but his is always the right way of doing things. I managed to go through my entire life without ever being called stupid. I've excelled at everything in life and have been tested to have an IQ over 130. Yet now I'm surrounded by the person who claims he wanted to be with me forever. I'm called an idiot almost every day. Are these outbursts ever going to stop? I've tried my hardest to listen and be the best partner I can possibly be, but something always seems to take us 2 steps back. Well, I'm gonna join him in calling you an idiot and a moron. You know why? Because you sit around and you take this kind of nonsense. Only a stupid bitch would do some shit like this. Nobody who had any self-esteem, even like in their pinky finger, would sit around and let somebody call them names day after day, week after week, month after month, and then write me asking what you should do about it. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to have the door open and the windows because it's just hot as hell today. I don't know what happened. So you might hear sirens. You know how they love to wait until I'm doing a show to come by my street. So you know, you I don't know what it is why you progressed to buying a house with this guy when you could see that he was already stupid. I mean, to me, when you get with somebody and they're seeing a therapist and they're on meds, that's somebody I would pass by because that means they're not stable. They got some mental or emotional problems, probably usually a combination thereof. And I know that I am personally not equipped to deal with someone who's struggling like that, I would most likely make it worse. So there's no reason for me to be in their life when they're trying to get their mind right, because I just don't care. And if it's something that they do that gets on my nerves, I'm going to tell them about it, and it's usually going to be in a pretty harsh way. So I'm trying to figure out why you are letting this man treat you like this, and you're staying there, and then talking about you trying your hardest to be the best person you can be and all this kind of stuff. Why don't you start outbursting back? Try that for a change. Let him get a taste of what it feels like to be called horrible names. And you the most laziest trifling in his ass. Who the hell do you think you are? You general somebody? Nobody does that got to listen to your ass. You don't run me. I had a daddy and it wasn't you. Shut up. And if you want everything done a specific goddamn way, then you do it yourself. Because I'm not doing it anymore. I don't give a fuck if this place gets full of rats and roaches. I'm not touching anything. I'm not going to clean shit. That's what he would get out of me. And then I would be packing my stuff to leave. See, and I don't understand why you are tolerating this. That's what's confusing me the most. All right, let's move on. We got 26 questions for those of you who just drifted in. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's black from Cleveland, Ohio, and the male is 22 to 27 and he's white. Oh, we got all these interracial situations today. This is interesting. So I have an issue. My best friend's baby daddy won't stop harassing me over her. Oh. So the baby daddy's white. So I wonder what is the girl? Okay, I'm conflicted about how I should go about this. My friend, let's call her Angel, is also black, and we are both 27. She is with an absolute scumbag who is white. They are a blended family, and I also have one of their own. Recently, the situation has turned sour, and she has been trying to see other people. He ends up going through her child's phone with her iPhone backup and sees that she's trying to move on, the advice her friends have been giving her, etc. She had a date that night. Of course, he shows up and ruins everything. My problem with this is between him finding out and her going on a date, I start receiving the most out of pocket threats and racist slurs from my friend Angel's baby daddy. Now I'm upset, but before I can even reply, he blocked me. After her date, she ended up leaving with him and he left her stranded. Me being a good friend, I went to save her. Took her to our mutual friend, all for her to end up leaving with him again. At this point, I've told her to leave me out of it, and if I see him, I will be calling the cops. I feel like a bad friend because I have my own problems in life to worry about. I've moved recently, and I've barely unpacked due to having to save her from these situations because at this point, the fights are domestic violence. When she does get away, it's for about 2 weeks, then it's back all over again. He will constantly stalk and harass her until she gives in. She's even admitted to kind of liking how crazy he is. Wow. And when he can't reach her, he'll try to call me or other mutual friends from multiple text now numbers. I've blocked him on everything I can, every number he uses to contact me. He pushes her to the suicidal point where he will text me from a random number to calm her down because he can't think of anything else. He's also a felon and a prohibited possessor of a stolen firearm. I'm not sure how to report that. Any help, advice? You call the police and you say, "This is a felon. This is where he live at. This be his name, and he has a gun, and he's stalking this girl, and he's harassing me and all her friends to find her. Go get him." And then they'll go get him because the parole, he's violating his parole. So whatever his original sentence was, he's gonna have to stay behind bars and complete it. And then he might get he's gonna get some new charges for being a felon and possessing of a stolen firearm. So he'll be away for, he'll have a couple of years to sit down, in which case she can pack up her stuff, drop off his baby with his family, and take her other kids and move to another state. That would be her best bet because then he won't be able to find her. But then, what happens with the girls like this is, you guys try to get away, but then you want to stay on Instagram and TikTok, and you want to keep in contact with all your friends and give people your new number and address and all this dumb shit. When you go into hiding, you go into hiding. You don't tell anybody where you are. If you need somebody, people want to get in touch with you, you give them one of those WhatsApp phone numbers or something, Google Voice. You give them that number, and then they can leave a message for you. And then if you want to, you can call them back. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. But should never, when you're in a situation like this, don't trust anybody because you have people who are sympathetic or weak. And if the person comes crying on their shoulder and crying about how I still love them, I just want another chance, blah, 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 they're going to give in and give them your number and contact information. That's why you don't give it to him. And if you get a post office box or something like that, you get it in another city where you have to drive 30 minutes to go get your whatever your mail is. But you really shouldn't have to do that because everything can be delivered to your inbox. All your bills can be paid online. There's really no reason to get stuff like that in the mail anymore unless you just super old fashioned. All my shit is electronic. I don't want bills. So when I open my mailbox, unless it's like I'm expecting a check and I know it's coming in the mail, I open that. But other than that, when I open my mailbox, it's just a bunch of circulars and junk mail. I grab it and I toss it into the shredder. I don't, because all my stuff comes electronic. I make it sure of that because I never know where I'm gonna be, and I want to have access to my shit. So I'm just putting all this out there because there's too many women in situations like this, and they don't think it through, and they trust too many people. You know, trust too many people. Let's move on. Question number 4. Female, 28 to 34. She's African American, a Cancer from Savannah, Georgia. Summary of the issue: the reality of dating someone with children. I want to hear other people's experiences too. I'm in my early 30s. I don't have any kids, but I might want them one day. I'm dating someone my age who has 2. They're in primary school from his past relationship, and he has them every other weekend and sometimes in the week too. It's likely me overthinking, but once the excitement fades from the initial months, I'm worried what the reality will be like. Like, does it become frustrating not just being able to see them when they have childcare commitments or seeing them but the kids are always there? Just to add, I think if I do decide one day I'd like kids, then he'd be open to that. Deb, what are the pros and cons of this situation? Childless person dating someone with children. Well, just like you said, their time is not as free. They're not available. And even if they get a sitter, sometimes if there's a problem and the sitter, can't show up or is running late or whatever, then they can't go out. Also, that's very expensive. So, unless that parent has a exchange system, like their parents live close by, or sister, but somebody who's like family who don't mind just taking the kids for a couple hours, it becomes a prohibitive cost. So a lot of the dates will be, free stuff where the kids can come to, or stay at home kind of dates. Now, if that's not the lifestyle that you're interested in living, then one should definitely not date a single parent. And also, you don't know what the mindset is of the other parent. Are they going to be jealous and tripping, coming after you, or calling you with stupid shit? Or they're gonna be cool and chill because they don't give a shit who the other person is spending time with, as long as their kids are safe. So it depends. There's a lot of unknowns here that you didn't really address. You didn't talk about the baby mama at all. So there's a lot of things that I would be thinking about. And then it's like, okay, then if you did marry this dude, and I always have to say this: if you're in a community property state and you marry someone who has kids and who's paying child support, if they for any reason become, uh, lose their job, then you're married to that person, so your income is community property. So then the child support will then be yanked out of your check. And if you have other kids, you have other financial commitments. They don't care because it's the household income and it's community property state. So that's money that, the parents can also file once you do that and get more child support because now there's 2 incomes in the household. So all in all, this is something you really need to think about, especially since you don't have any kids. If this is really something you want to do, personally, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you might want to date him for a little while. I mean, he might be a cool person, but would I invest any feelings in a situation like this? Nope. And trust me, a whole bunch of dudes got the same mindset about women who got kids. They ain't not trying to do it. They roll in, tap that ass, and then they roll right back out because they don't want to be bothered. They don't want the commitment, the financial responsibility, the inconveniences, the noise. It just, then once the kids are bad, disrespectful little brats, they break his stuff or something. It's just, nope, I wouldn't do it. I never dated anybody with kids now that I think about it. I had my daughter, but I didn't really let her interact with people. You know, After her dad died, she would be at my auntie's house. She would be at my mother's house. She would be, I don't, she would be with my cousins. She would be somewhere and she would not be around interacting with them dudes. I was not having that. I don't want no problems. No, I didn't mean to. Nothing suspect. You ain't saying shit to her. Don't you even think about touching her in any kind of inappropriate way. I'll kill you. This kind of stuff. I did that thought bubble about what would happen and how many jails I would be under, and I just decided it's better for her to be over there somewhere, and I'll do what Imma do, and then, that's it. I kept my my daughter and her safety at home as my top priority, and everything else was just whatever. So, you have to think about that too. How much what role would he be expecting you to play as his long-term girlfriend? So all in all, you got a lot of thinking to do, and it's way deeper than what you put in this little letter here. Question number 5. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hey, everybody! I just clicked over to the chat so I could see, what y'all talking about. Okay, so Virginia Beach, Virginia, summer issue: dating an avoidant person. This is more of a rant or vent, I guess, but I'd like some guidance on how to make different choices so this doesn't happen to me again. I dated an avoidant man who made me feel like I was in a romantic witness protection program. Oh, that's witty. In the beginning, he was all in. Good morning text, random calls just to quote, hear my voice, talking about moving in together. I was out here planning color schemes for our hypothetical kitchen. Girl, you was tripping. Then poof, he started pulling back in the weirdest ways. He planned a date, pick me up, drive halfway there, then suddenly not feel like going and take me home. Okay. He once texted me, I missed you while I was sitting next to him on the couch. But the real plot twist, for my birthday, he booked us a weekend trip to a cute little cabin. I was packing my bags thinking this is it. He's finally letting me in. The morning of the trip, he called me and says, quote, I can't go. I need a weekend to myself to think about us, end quote. He literally went alone. Posted a picture of the cabin fireplace with the caption self-care. When I ended it, he told me I was running away from a good thing. Sir, you were running away from me at full sprint in snow boots. I'm done with dating. Wow. Well, I'm just gonna say this. By the time you say he'd plan a date and pick me up, drive halfway there, then suddenly not feel like going and take me home. So that the way you phrase this it leads me to believe that this happened more than one time. And I'm wondering again, I'm talking about the disrespect. Why why would anybody accept this kind of behavior and then stay in the relationship and continue to be affiliated with somebody who clowned them like that? I would have got out that car and said, "Fuck you, your mama, and everybody that you even thought about knowing. Don't you ever speak to me again. Stay away from me, cause I'll shoot you." And I would mean it too. And I'm just like, this is just not. This just don't even make no sense. I don't even understand how. And you sitting there and he's texting you, "I miss you," while you sitting next to him on the couch. Did this guy have mental problems or something? That doesn't even sound. I mean, has you any of you guys heard about anybody doing something like that? Leanna, Angelina Rosa and Tito. My God. Uh, I just never heard anything like this, and it just sounds like someone who's not really wrapped too tight. So I'm thinking that you should be happy that he sprinted away from you. You should be like on the ground doing your, you know, bows to the heavens and Buddha and Allah and all everybody, and just be happy that this didn't go any further. Definitely that you didn't get pregnant by him. Oh my God. Question number 6. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group, no location provided. Summary of issue: how to be confident despite not being respected by women and coworkers. I am a 29-year-old man. I live in Europe. I am not a confident guy and I am quiet and shy. I first act, then get the result of my actions, and after I've done it, I get confident I can do something. Some people believe they will achieve things even before they have a plan of action. They talk about how they will do this and that while I just keep silent and work. I feel like people don't respect me. Recently, my boss gave me a raise, citing my not wait. Oh, my boss didn't give me a raise, citing my not working that hard, despite saying I am doing a great job repeatedly in the last 2 months. This made me feel crushed as my previous boss raised my salary 2 years in a row. The issue is that this new boss is not tech minded and can't evaluate the effort I put in, and I'm too afraid to tell her, "Hey, I am working more honestly. Working more hours. Honestly, I am for the same paycheck, which inflation eats like candy." I'm trying to correct his words as I'm reading. That's why I'm stumbling over here. He's writing's not that good. The issue is not that I'm paid a lot, but that until now, 99% of my confidence came from my above average salary, which, if not raised, will just become average. This is the only thing that kept me from not feeling like a failure, despite me being objectively good at my job and being educated in one of the top universities, speaking a few foreign languages, while most of my coworkers struggle with English. A lot of my colleagues are the same age as my parents. Literally, I'm the youngest of 45 people and don't take me seriously despite being an expert in a specific field none of them understand. There are some job requirements which are common for me and for them, but for others I understand pretty well all of them are out of depth, as unlikely as that may seem, since they're older and more experienced than me. Also, there's the issue of not getting dates and honestly believing that women see me as a pussy. I do think my shy nature and hunched posture makes it unimaginable for women to think of me as an object of desire. I don't think there is a woman out there who would want to be with a guy of average height who's looking like Christian Bale in Rescue Dawn. Okay, over my head. Fortunately, I'm not as skinny as him and not as facially attractive, but my struggle to get my calories despite waking early to get a protein shake to do that is a whole nother struggle. Dude, I can see why you don't have nobody. So what do I do? How do I not care that I will not get paid more in my job, ideally without leaving, and that women don't want to sleep with me? Okay, so you put this is the most disjointed letter that I, yeah, the hunch posture and the shyness together and no confidence, dude. That's the trifecta of you ain't gonna never get no pussy. Okay, let me break this down for you. First of all, get your balls together. Go into your supervisor. You're going to make a list of all the things that you do, why you deserve a raise. And put it in writing. You make a memo. Okay, why you deserve a raise. That film was 2005. Okay, I don't know nothing about it. So, that's how you do. You have to justify the reason because obviously they don't understand what you do. That's on any job. You should be in constant communication with your supervisors about what you're doing, saying, I'm going to take on this task, which involves A, B, C, and D. So even if they don't really know exactly, they can read. I've always had to do that on jobs because they think, okay, like say I'm working somewhere and uh, I'm going to write and lay out for a newsletter or something, right? Okay, now what is involved in that? First, you got to get a concept, and you have to research, and you got to write, right? Then, if there's someone to interview, you got to go do the interview. Then you got to edit the interview. Then you have to go and you do all the layout work with the graphic software that none of them know how to use now. Okay, now we're talking like weeks of work here to do this. Now, if you're talking to someone who's never done it before, they don't understand. They just think, oh, it's a newsletter. It just appeared by magic, like ding, 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 ding. So you have to structure your correspondence with them to show them all the steps that are involved with an estimate of the time that it's going to take you to do it. And then they see it. Okay, then when they see you working, they say, oh my God, I can now understand why it takes so long. So you evidently haven't done that because you feel like, you're so simple superior and don't nobody understand what you're doing. But that having uh that mindset is going to screw you over. You have to think, well, they don't know, but I need to educate them so they understand what I do and my contribution to the team. See, you're looking at it with a defeatist attitude, and I'm looking at it as this is an opportunity for you to show them what your worth is. So you got to turn your mindset around. Secondly, there's nothing wrong with you, a young guy. How old did you say you are? Shit, I forgot you use so many damn words. You're the 28 to 34. Oh, you're 29. Okay, so that's the prime age to job hop. You start looking for another job that's going to pay you the money that you're probably going to find something that would be more than what you would get if you stayed there with a raise. That's how it usually goes. Sometimes, you change jobs, you can get a $10,000, $15,000 salary increase in one fell swoop. Sometimes better benefits, more vacation day, all kind of stuff. So don't be afraid to look around and see what's on the other stuff is out there, and that'll give you a good idea if you're being underpaid as well. But yeah, you got to get yourself to a gym or a chiropractor, do something with yourself, and stop hunching over like that. Do some exercise so you open your chest up and strengthen your back muscles. Question number 7. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's Caucasian from Leeds, England. Summary issue. Is this how relationships are supposed to be? Whole bunch of question marks and exclamation marks. Hey, Deb, I heard your show on Thursday and I love the answer you gave on letter number 14. It was a woman asking about giving up on dating men and instead dating women. I was in the same situation and I wanted to share my perspective. I'm 30 and I had only dated men up until this year. Usually with men, it's felt quite forced, especially in the early days, but I've ended up loving and enjoying nook nook with some of them. When people said to me, you know what it's like when you first start dating, you want to spend all your time together. I never understood that, but I thought there was something wrong with me, like I had avoidant attachment or something. But a few months ago, I met my girlfriend and then realized I am bi or maybe gay, but still figuring that out. So far, it's been great. If I'm having a bad day, just spending time with her makes me feel so much better. I can't wait to see her, and I miss her so much when we are apart. It's the best nook nook of my life, and it's like time stops when we are together. We have had minor disagreements, but have worked through them, and they have brought us closer. I've never felt this way before. So my question is this normal for how relationships are? Can people have this with more than one person in their life? Or is this special slash rare? And have I met the one and she just happens to be a woman? What do you think? Well, like I said Thursday, from my perspective, when you're talking about relationships, people are people. I mean, what you do, like I said, it's what you do in the bedroom is like kind of irrelevant. Like, how's your communication? How do you have each other's back? How do you understand each other? You have similar values and morals and goals in life and stuff like that. So are you on the same page with that person? To me, I mean, that could be either friends, a good friendship, or it could be a romantic partnership. But without that foundation, you really don't have too much of anything. Then I guess if you add the nook nook to it and it's good too, then that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all most people are looking for. Now, can you have this with more than one person in your life? Mm, yes, but the intensity is going to be different. I don't mean to say that it's bad. It's just going to be different. That first time, like just like the first time you fall in love is with your whole being, your soul, your toenails, your hair, everything. You just be all wrapped up with that person. Can you fall in love again? Certainly. But there's always that mark on your heart from the first love. You never really forget it. Not to say you can't move past it and excuse me, open up your heart to other people. It's just not going to be the same. It's just how it is. It might be a phase, but it might be Jessica that she really has found, what she didn't know that was what she was looking for. You know what I mean? You got to think about it because most people don't raise their kids to explore their sexuality. It's just not what parents do. I know I didn't do that. And so if my daughter was gonna, go investigate some stuff like that, she would be doing that on her own. And it might be, you kind of push your kids like, when they're growing up, they say, oh, your little boy is gonna be a lady killer, or your little girl's gonna have all the boys. And so, you already start putting that, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna have a boyfriend. And or when you're a teenager to say, oh, do you have, I know the boys after you. So it's like we start training them to think in the heterosexual way. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's what we do. So it could very well be that, she had this interest in her all along and just didn't really realize it. So she was dealing with men because that's what she thought she was supposed to do. Because she said, she found she says she realized maybe I'm bi or maybe I'm gay. She's still figuring that out. So that doesn't sound like somebody who's firmly in the heterosexual camp to me. Dusty free parts. I heard that. So I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. So let's see. What did she ask me? Yeah. So yeah, if you're just looking at people and it just happens that you clicked with somebody who happened to be female, just like I said, you talked about yesterday. What's the lady's name? I remembered her name yesterday. The woman who married a woman. She always dated men. She was married to a man. She always dated men before, just like this girl. And then she met some woman, and now she's married to a woman, and we ain't heard a peep out of her. Niecy Dash. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I don't remember. My daughter used to watch me Dragon Ball Z. I remember that night. She would just be like flying home to make sure she was on for the next episode. So let's move on. Question number 8. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Telford, England. Summary of the issue: I hate myself. So I met this guy at a bar a few weeks ago and I gave him my number. We were going to meet for a date a week after, but had to cancel as he got sick and asked to reschedule, which I said was fine. He said he would text when he felt better, but as it had gone over a week, I decided to just check in and ask how he was feeling and if he was still interested, but he didn't answer. Now begins all the reasons for why I hate myself and can't sleep. What? After having cried myself to sleep for 2 days, I just couldn't make any sense of the way he had texted earlier, coming off as very genuine. And I had tried adding him on Facebook, but nothing. And I found his friend, which I had also met. Now, for the bad part, I texted him asking if anything had happened or if he knew a reason as to why I was being ghosted. When I came home, his friend said he wasn't home at the moment, but would answer later. But a couple of hours, the guy I'd been texting was suddenly texted back. He said he saw the message I sent and forgot it. Then he continued to tell me that he was going to be pretty busy this month with moving and a new job and that he was sorry to have to cancel our plans, but that it was still cool. I gave him my number. I said it was fine. If he would be interested when he would have more time, he could just let me know. And that is when I felt I had done the wrong thing, but still unsure. I texted his friend that I was sorry, but had gotten an answer and that I thought I had messed up a bit. Obviously, as his friend, didn't say anything. The issue now is I hate myself. I want to sleep, but I can't do anything or stop thinking about it. I always mess things up. I always never think things through. I know what I did was wrong and learned in therapy, which ended before the summer, that I hyper focused a lot, struggling with shifting my attention elsewhere. I will take a step back from the dating scene as it isn't healthy for me at the time. So, again, thank you for listening. I have also contacted my doctor to see if I can get back into therapy. Any other advice for me? No, I think, try to get you a different therapist though, because obviously that one didn't work. That one, whatever you learned in that therapy, that did not stick. So you call it hyper focus. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's the first time I heard that term. But the bottom line is what you did was chase a man. And on this channel, I tell women you never chase men and you never help men. They have to step up and do things on their own as men. Otherwise, there's no sense of accomplishment for them. So once he didn't call you back, that was your clue that this was it and it was over and move on. But no, you going, oh, let's get together. And you're begging him to spend time with you. That's a turn off. I mean, even if the man was interested in you, that's still a turn off because he just feels like you're desperate. And so once they start seeing you as desperate, their view of you in their eyes starts going downhill. That's why I never call me. Well, I mean, it's not why, but I mean, I just was never motivated to call a man. I don't care what they do. Go to hell, freeze, fly back. I don't know what you're gonna do or when you're gonna do it, how you're gonna do it. I don't care. And if you in my face and I'm enjoying your time with you, then I might care. But as far as like trying to hunt a man down, I'm gonna text him when we gonna get together and all this kind of shit. I don't that I don't even understand that concept for women to do that. Her hormones is find something else. Her mind is messed up. She can't even sleep because she's thinking about this man that she met and gave her number to, and they texted. Yeah, okay, so they never even went out. We were going to meet for a date a week after, but he had to cancel because he got sick. See, so she never went out with him, and she's having all this stuff associated with all these emotions. associated with this guy that she only met at a club and gave her number to. So see, to me, that's not hormonal, that's mental. That's she got some mental problems. Something wrong with her. And she definitely needs some couch time. Question number 9. Female, 28 to 34. She's black from Montreal, Canada. Summary issue. My exes reach out to me when they want to feel something again. Why do you let them do that? Why do you not block them like I have instructed every single woman that's come on the channel? When you break up with somebody, do you immediately block them on any and all platforms? So see, but you didn't do that. So here we go. I've been really down lately when it comes to dating. I've had exes who ended things with me reach out when they feel down. See, no, they would tell me how much they liked me and regretted anything. Of course they do. That's from the Players Playbook. I would try to talk to them like friends to see if they are able to build trust with me again. If they took that time and I really felt that they cared for me, I would give them another chance. Dummy. Before you know it, they found someone else and are happy in dating. It doesn't help that I don't date a lot. I'm usually single because I only date people if I see potential for marriage. So I take my time and never rush into anything. These exes of mine so easily seem to move on and find someone else. When I dated them, I felt like no matter what, I wouldn't leave their side. Well, you was doing too much. For me, I wanted to grow with someone and get married. For them, they dated what was easy and left when it got hard. It just makes me sad. I really want to get married and start a family. I seem to be right for these men, but they just want to date around. My exes and I are all in our late 20s. My heart is broken at this point. I still talk to people, but I feel like a girl men never want anything long term with. I've been doing great financially, health wise, hobbies, and friends wise. I seriously can't complain, but I can't figure out why I cannot find someone who mutually wants to be with me. And she put the little sad face. I don't want exes to keep coming back and hurting me, but they only coming back because you letting them. Like you don't know how. Yeah, she ain't blocked nobody, and then want to sit here wasting my time writing me a letter about some stupid exes. All exes should be eaten by land sharks. That's my feeling about the whole thing. Like Jaws should be able to come up on land on some wheels and just roll down the street and eat up all my exes. I would be so happy. But then again, that's why they invented the block button, the block feature. It has the same effect. They can't get to you. They're like poof gone. Okay. But you all don't like to use the block button, I see. All these letters that come in. Girls like to stay, in contact with these Mickey Mouse exes and then want to be complained about what they do and say to them and how they treat them. Ah, question number 2. Oh, for you. Oh, for my advice for you is if you want to get married and stuff, you need to go to, start asking old women if they have grandsons and stuff. Ask for somebody. And then you were 20, what did you say? 28? What did you say? Oh, well, you're in the 20 to 34 age group. You don't really say what specific age. But, that's the age where most men are, starting to think that way as well. And you just don't do it for them, though. When you meet the right dude, I mean, he's going to want to snatch you up and take you off the market like quick. They don't take a long time when they really want to be with you. These girls dating these dudes for years and years and stuff. You should know better. I mean, unless you like still in school or something, where they, waiting to get your degree before you do it. Well, then that's something. There's a plan there. But you like out of school in the workforce, you and 30 years old, and you date somebody for 5, 10, 7 years, and they still ain't proposed. You stupid. If dude is not making moves within a year, then you wasting your time. Next his ass and get on out of there and go find somebody else. And really 6 months. By the time you get 30, they know. I mean, they know almost right away if they want to be with you or not. They just be stretching it out because you're convenient. You're convenient bed warmer, free nook. You be helping them pay half their mortgage and rent and stuff. It's a convenience for them to have you around. But does that mean they want to commit to you? Hell no, because otherwise they would have done it already. Well, the women are wasting their own time because the women. See, we can't put it all on them, Jess. We can't put it all on the men because the men are just this. This is why this channel notice I educate women because women have this thing where they think that if they're so soft-hearted and they don't think about what's in their best interest. And they feel like they're bad or wrong if they tell dudes, no, stop, get the fuck out of here, get out of my life. I'm not taking that shit from you or nobody else. If you know, stop doing that. This shit here is over. I get out, move out, I'm moving out. They don't like to say those kind of things. Nothing definitive to men because so that's why they come across as all like, oh, okay, well maybe, well we could try it again. We I'll give him another chance. You don't need to do that. If you once a man fucks up, you don't give him another chance. That's it. He done tore his drawers, his ass out. Okay, boop him on out to the way and get you somebody else who knows how to act. You don't sit around with giving them chance, especially when they do some egregious shit like they want to hit you, they want to gamble away your money, they steal from you, they hurt you in some kind of way, and then you gonna give them another chance. I'll be like 911 on his ass. Come get this fool and lock him up before I hurt him. So I don't, it's really hard for me to answer these kind of questions because I just can't even identify with the level of disrespect that these young ladies accept. I just can't even understand it. I just don't get it at all. There's just no way in this world. But this I did. I don't remember. See, y'all know, but no, I just do. Especially in the early years, I used to do so much. I had so many ideas about stuff, and I'd make all these videos. So, see, Leandra says, let me just put it over. I wonder what the name of it is. Did a video on why women don't get angry with men. I have to think about it. If I find it, I'll put a link in the show description so people can just click it. So up above here, because they have the thing that pops across the screen, and then I'll just put it there if I can remember what I called it. Thanks, Leandra. So, yeah, I would suggest you do something like that because you're looking for something real serious, and these dudes, they know right away if they want to get married to you or not. Don't let them drag on your time all like that. Talking about we gonna date? No, motherfucker, we not. Question number 10. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Seattle, Washington. The male's 35 to 41. Subject issue. Am I overreacting for feeling weird that my sister invited my ex to her wedding and didn't tell me until the night before? Your sister invited your ex to her wedding. Okay. My ex and I'm 29 and he is 35, broke up about 10 months ago after a 4-year long relationship. It was mutualish, not super messy, but we haven't really stayed in touch since. She was close with my family during our relationship, especially my sister. This past weekend, my sister got married. I was in the wedding party and everything was going great until I showed up to the rehearsal dinner and saw my ex sitting at one of the tables like it was totally normal. No one told me that he'd be there, not my sister, not my parents, no one. I had a friend I've been seeing off and on with me, so this was kind of added to the awkward. To be cleared, I wasn't rude. We said hi, made small talk, and that was it. But inside, I was blindsided. I asked my sister why she didn't mention it, and she said, well, I figured you'd be fine. You'd be fine. It's my wedding. I get that it's her day and she can invite whoever she wants, but would it really have been so hard to just give me a heads up? Now I feel kind of awkward about the whole situation, but my family thinks I'm making it about me. How would you have handled the situation, Deb? I wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, you said it was mutualist and it wasn't messy, so what are you tripping for? If she want to invite all your exes, it's like if it was this kind of situation where you could have still go up to them and have a little bit of a conversation, why are you tripping and making a big deal out of it? I agree with your family. You're doing too much. You're doing the absolute most. And if your family is still, friendly with your ex and want to invite them, like I got invited to my ex's mother. And I was remarried. I mean, it's and had Taryn. And so she's like, well, I mean, he's like, well, my mother wants you to come over for Thanksgiving. My mother wants you to come over for Christmas. So I go and I take her, take my daughter. The daughter had nothing to do with none of them. And I go over there and we have a good time. They were so happy to see me. It's somebody I dated like high school, college age. And it was interesting. But yeah, she was really happy to see me. So, and sometimes, the family doesn't have any bad feelings about you. It's just you and the person just didn't make it. It's no big deal. So what they come. So I mean, it's not your house, it's not your wedding, it's not your money. What are you tripping for? I don't understand you. Let's move on. Question number 11. This is a young man in the 20 to 34 age group. He's Latino from Tucson, Arizona. Was I wrong by refusing to give up my bed? So on the last weekend, my girlfriend and I went out for a meal and went to the movies with her 16-year-old cousin. The plan was to drop the cousin off at home afterwards. When we got back to my car, my girlfriend asked if her cousin if she wanted to stay over and we could go back and play video games, etc. And her cousin agreed. When we got back, the evening was going fine. We were just chilling out playing video games. Her cousin went to have a shower, and my girlfriend mentioned that I'd have to sleep on the sofa. And I refused. I said her cousin can sleep on the sofa and that I'm not giving up my bed just because my girlfriend decided to unilaterally invite someone over for the night. She said it's not fair to have her cousin sleep on the sofa. So I asked why it was fair for me to be on the sofa. She didn't answer. She just said she thought I was being unreasonable and that I should be fine giving up my bed. I refused again, and she just said it wasn't being fair. I just said that I shouldn't have to give up my bed in my own home and that her cousin is the one who's sleeping on the sofa. Was I wrong for refusing to give up my bed? Nope. And you good because you know I told my girlfriend, and you keep talking shit, you gonna be on the sofa with her. And I'm gonna be in my bed by my damn self. That's what's about to happen. Keep talking. That's so disrespectful. You done invited somebody over to spend the night at your house that she didn't ask you, she just did it. And then think you're gonna give up your bed too? Hell to the no. Especially somebody 16, put her ass on the floor. She's a kid. She can handle it. She can make a pallet. That's what we used to do in my grandmother's house. Make a pallet on the floor. Yeah, I don't want to see my exes either. I mean, if I had to, like, I don't know, like some, like they have civic events and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Nobody's like everybody in the world is there, so you can't really exclude anybody. But I'm definitely not gonna be going through no changes to try to be around them or to try not to. I just live my life, and if I see them, I'll be like, or the little thing like that. That's the extent of it. I don't want to have no conversation with your raggedy ass. Don't talk to me. So yeah, dude, I'm on your team on that one. Question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Santa Rosa, California. Summary of issue. This little girl lied about her age, and I found out that she is still in high school. I am a 23-year-old female, and I met this girl on a dating app. Her profile said she was 19 and in college. I've been talking to her for a couple of weeks. Every day we would chat endlessly for hours. I started to get genuine feelings for her, which was nice because I haven't felt that way for anyone since I got cheated on last year. Today, I decided to look her up on Facebook and I saw a post from last year that said, Happy 16th birthday. And I froze. I feel so grossed out, weirded out, and betrayed in a way. I confronted her about it, but I still don't have a response. Yeah, because she's scared. This gig is up. I obviously don't feel comfortable continuing this, but man, do I feel sick. We haven't met up in person. We have only done light flirting via text. How do I go about handling this? Just block her little young silly ass. There's nothing to handle. You didn't ever even met her. So it's not like, you did anything illicit with her or anything. But, just block her and go on with your life. And then in the future, if you have any doubt about somebody's age, because see, to me, 16-year-olds, I mean, I don't care how old they lie and say they are, their conversation is kiddie. Ooh, my eyelash must have been in my eye. Their conversation is young. And so you should, with any kind of savvy, be able to figure that out real quick, girlfriend. Come on now. You're in your 20s. You're 23 and she's a 17 if that was last year. 17-year-old children. Then their minds are kitty and their conversation is kitty and their thinking is kitty too. So you must have not talked about the right subject so you can get the right answers to find that out. So I suggest you elevate your level of your conversation in the future so that you can ferret that out. Okay. Question number 13. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. He's Caucasian from Hamburg, Germany. Oh, yeah, usually some servicemen or something from Germany. This is interesting. Okay. Dating someone with cats. Well, I'm allergic. Oh, shit. You good. I can't do it. There's many cats, many, many cats. 25% of the households in my country have cats. Many women I have come across have cats. Many women in my dating pool have cats or want cats. What the hell? Currently, I'm dating someone with, you name it, 2 cats. I like cats just as I like other animals, but yeah, I'm allergic. I can't be in a house that's ruled by cats for a longer period, and I just can't help it. The hairs and particles are everywhere all the time. Deep taking antihistamine, taking antihistamines or deep cleaning works only to a certain degree. How do you suggest I deal with it? I feel like adding cats to the already extensive list of no-nos is rather pathetic. Also, because I don't really mind cats, but it's limiting. I would not be able to live with them because of my allergy. Do I just end things? Well, dude, I'm trying to figure out why this is even a question. You're talking about your health being at risk because you want some booty? Is that what you trying to tell me? Is that what you saying here? Do you understand that that's what you're saying? You asking a question. Oh, somebody suggested, well, see, it's not his cat, it's the girl's cats. And she has whatever cat she has. But no, nah, well, still, they can have some conversations that'll be mature, but it's still gonna come out that they only, that they're young. They can't hide it. There's too many things that they haven't done yet. So you just have to ask the right questions and you'll find out. But in this case, dude, I'm just going to tell you that you should end things and you should put in your profile that you're allergic to cats so that women who have cats or want to get cats will know that you're not available to them. Would I risk my lungs and my health in order to have somebody to date? I would never do that. That's why I don't date people who smoke. I don't date smokers. I don't date people with dogs, and I don't date people with cats. I mean, I love animals. They love me, but I can't. I mean, like they want to get. They love you so much that they want to get on you and rub on you and stuff, and get their hair on my clothes. It's like they want to mark you or something. And I'm pushing them little nasty things away from me. And as my nose is starting to run, my eyes are starting to itch, and I'm starting to sneeze. And then if it gets really bad, I'll go into an asthma attack. Okay, so I'm not trying to have that happen. So I'll be leaving when I find out somebody's like that. One time I sat next to a lady on the bus. Well, she sat next to me actually. I was sitting by the window and she came and sat on the seat next to me. And she had cat hair all over her clothes. Just from that contact, I was dying. I had to pull out my puffer on the bus. She was covered in cat hair, so that dander must have been thick. Like her cat must have used her coat for a bed or something. I don't know what was going on with girlfriend stuff, but you just look at it, just cat hair everywhere. And I started to wheeze. I had to use my little puffer thingy. You probably right, Leandra. I don't know. I couldn't do it. This one guy really kind of liked him, but then I found out he had two Rottweilers. First of all, I don't do Rottweilers, and then secondly, certainly wouldn't be doing two of them. And they lived in the house. They didn't even live outdoors. Psh, I was like, oh no, that's why I haven't been back to my cousin's house. She got a dog, the one I used to be at their house all the time. But she got a little pit bull puppy. I have not been back to her house since. I walked in there and stayed about 20 minutes and my nose started running. I left and I have not been back. And it's been almost a year. And it's not because I don't want to see them, but I just can't go in your house because the dog hair is everywhere. So let's move on. Question number 14. This is a female, 22 to 27. We got 26 questions today for those of you who came in late. 26 questions. This is question number 14. And let me put this across. If you want to submit a question, let's stop and just do this right now. This is how you submit your question to the show. You just log on to debsterism.com and click the tab that says Get Advice. Get Advice and fill out the form and send it in. Okay. All right. So back to this. She says, I need to rant. Me and my partner had just moved from our own flats to a new house. Moving is stressful anyway, but I've also had to move with my 9-month-old. My partner is constantly having a go at me, saying I'm selfish and do nothing for him because I, quote, didn't help him clean his room, end quote, that he was renting. But I got my mom to watch my daughter, got the rest of the things from my flat with his help, then went to his, and bearing in mind it's just a room, so I cleaned the window ledge, the dresser, the bed frame, the bedside table, and the sink. I started to take photos with down and then looked at the time as I had a dining table being delivered and couldn't expect my mom to deal with that and watch the baby. He said I could go, and I asked if he was sure 3 times before I left. But now I take, and give nothing back apparently. So now I just don't know what to do. Now I just don't want to do anything for him so he realized what I do. Any advice? Kicking him to the curb is not an option at this rate. Well, I don't know why, because you haven't even really moved all the way in yet. You can move all the way back out. Tell him, oh, you better get your room back because you're going to need it. Um, See, when it starts with them starting accusing you and putting you down and you haven't even moved in with them yet, that would be to me, that would be the breaks. Would be like, okay, wait, you know what? This plan that we had to move in together, we gonna cancel this shit, and I'm gonna stay in my flat, and you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Rent out the other rooms in this house because I'm not gonna be living here with you. As a matter of fact, this shit is over. See, I don't like that. Don't call me names. Don't be labeling me. Don't yell at me. Don't do anything like that because then it's over. It's over. Like on the spot, it's over. Yeah, I just can't do it. Yeah, I just had me and my friend Ken. I mean, we had a little situation one time. He drove me to Walmart, and just two sides of the car. But from his side, he could see the phone number, pick up phone number, what you're supposed to call and stuff. And then, but from my side, there was a tree blocking the sign, and I couldn't see it. And so he was like, I said, "Oh, just read me the number." What your eyes? You can't. Some snarky ass comment he made, like it was a joke. I turned in that seat. I said, "Motherfucker, you must have forgot who you talking to. I'm not your wife. Don't you ever raise your voice at me and do any kind of insulting jokes like that to me. You done went crazy. You forgot. You must have forgot." Well, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's getting all, looking all chastised and shit. It's like you done forgot who you was talking to for real. So he apologized and stuff. I mean, we went on. It was no big deal. I lit his ass up right quick though. That's one thing you just not gonna do. We see. I don't. And, as much as I love him, we've been friends for like almost 30 years. But so I didn't like. It wasn't at the end really. I mean, it's not like we romantically involved. But he wasn't a bad word. He didn't. No, he just making a joke that I didn't like, and I couldn't. From my side, I couldn't see it, and I just asked his funky ass to just read me the number. That's all I asked him to do. So you don't want to do it, then motherfucker, shut up. But the one thing you just don't, let's not go there. Don't do that. Don't you ever do that again. And he hasn't. He's like be on his P's and Q's. But that's what I mean. You can't let them get away with it with nothing. As soon as they get started, you check them. So I don't know. If I were you, I would be rethinking that moving in shit. That wouldn't work for me. You be calling me selfish after I did everything, had your raggedy ass 9-month-old baby. Question number 15. This is a male 42 to 49. He's Caucasian and a Capricorn from Cork, Ireland. Oh, never heard of it. The female is also 42 to 49. Summary issue. I'm getting hate for telling my wife that I will leave if she doesn't institutionalize our son. Deb, I seriously need some guidance and your thoughtfulness about my situation. My wife is 42 and I'm 43, and we have a 13-year-old son I'll call Robin in this letter. For years, Robin's behavior has been disturbing and dangerous. He's lied compulsively, been cruel to animals, and now he's stealing and physically harming other kids. Therapists have used words like conduct disorder, and one even suggested he very possibly a sociopath in the making when I pressed her, even though he can't be officially diagnosed at this age. I live in constant fear of what he'll do next. I've researched our options and believe the only safe path is to have him placed in a state run therapeutic facility. We can't afford private care with our insurance. It's not about giving up, but getting him into a system equipped to handle this level of behavior and, most importantly, protecting other children. Deb, my wife is in complete denial. She says he's just, quote, misunderstood and refuses to consider institutionalization. She believes I'm a cold hearted monster for even suggesting it. I told her I can't live in this fear, and if she won't agree to this for the safety of everyone, that I will leave. She says I'm abandoning my family. Do you think I'm wrong for giving my wife this ultimatum about her son? Yes, I do, and let me tell you why. So the little motherfucker's violent and a tripping. You just gonna leave her there with the kid by herself because you scared? Look, fool, you go to talk to somebody at whatever the version is of Child Protective Services in Cork, Ireland, and explain the situation and what you want to do to put him in the institution because it's going to protect other children and other people's animals from this boy that needs help that you can't provide him. And then you can get a court order to do it. And what her mommy's opinion is won't matter. He will become a ward of the state or of court of Ireland or whatever, and they will put him in an institution whether she wants it or not for the good of the community. Because I remember reading a case where the family was like this, and the little boy, same situation. The mother just kept covering for him, covering for him. So he was on a baby daddy situation, so the father wasn't really around anyway. But he ended up killing her. He killed her. Yeah. It was so bad she used to like barricade herself in her room at night. She'd lock all the doors and stuff so he couldn't get to her, but he did anyway. And then, that was the end of that. But everybody had told her that he was crazy and to give him some help, but she refused to accept that he was in the job. So I'm with you, but I'm saying you're not going to leave her over this. You're going to roll your sleeves up. You're going to handle your shit like a man, and you're going to look at all the legal ways that you can go over her head and have him committed to the institution, no matter what she says, because of his behavior. It's a threat to other kids and to the community and people's pets and shit. That's scary. Question number 16. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group. She's Asian, Sheffield, South Yorkshire, England, and the male is 50 to 56 and he's white. Summary of issue. My boyfriend seems to not want to spend time with my teenager son. I met a guy in February and he is great. He doesn't have kids and never wanted them. The thing is, since we moved in together, it seems, February, last year, okay. It seems he doesn't want to spend much time with my teenage son, who is 15. He's been off work for the past 9 weeks. He had a heart attack. And it seems like when my son comes downstairs, about 20 or 30 minutes later, my boyfriend goes upstairs for a lay down. Just so you know, we moved in together after only 10 months because he lived an hour and a half away. And it made sense when he was staying 5 nights out of 7 anyway. Don't get me wrong, this has been great. No, his has been, I think she means he's been great with him. My son talks to him about stuff they both like, and he's been on holiday with us and paid half of all the trips and food. He's even paid half of our next holiday to Turkey, and we will go half with foods and trips on this holiday. Last year, we took my son to Belfast to the Titanic and Alton Towers and the beach a couple of times. But this year, since he moved in December, he's really not wanted to spend time as a family. Am I looking into this too much? Am I being silly? Should I expect this guy to she means want, to be a family with me? And 15-year-old, it doesn't bother me about doing stuff as a family with the older two children, 21 and 23. And my son will not want to do anything with me soon, left alone with this guy only known for 14 months. I know it's only a couple of more years until my son is going to want to do anything with us, but while he still don't mind, I want to be able to do stuff with him. Okay, well, you do stuff with him. I'm going to draw your attention back to what you said here. He's great. The thing is, he's great, but he doesn't have kids and he never wanted them. That's like the first sentence of or second sentence of your letter. So since you know that, I'm trying to figure out how you wrapped your mind into jump to this space where you're expecting him to step in and stepfather role when you already know he never wanted to have kids. So that's the responsibility he wasn't prepared to have. He never wanted it. So you knew that going in, but now it's a problem. So if you're thinking I'm going to side with you, I'm going to say that you're 150% wrong here. You want to do something with your 15-year-old, go do it. And you kept referring to your grown ass kids, 21 and 23, as other older children. They're not children. Those are grown adults. And no, ain't nobody trying to do nothing with them either. Usually people that age are kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, they do grow up quick, but they still don't have conversations like an adult. That's all I'm saying. If you have enough patience and ask them the right kind of questions, it will come out that they're young in the mind. No 16-year-old on this world can present themselves with the maturity and stuff of an adult consistently over a period of time. Shit, half the time adults, they in their 20s and be acting like they're 16. So, but that's what I think. So yeah, lady, I'm just going to tell you that you're barking up the wrong tree there. Just leave that alone. If you want to do something with your 15-year-old, go do it. If you want to do something with all three of your kids, go do it. And don't bother him. He just had a heart attack. And of course, he's tired. He's still in recovery. He said it was like 9 weeks ago. Yeah, he's gonna have a lay down. He's gonna have a whole bunch of them until he fully recuperates. Question number 17. This is a female, 20 to 34. She's Caucasian from Coventry, England. Another female, 22 to 27. Summary of issue. My close friend of 5 years dropped out of my wedding and never talked to me again. Well, what did you do? This is a bit complicated, but I'm still very hurt and confused about it. I met this friend 5 or 6 years ago, and while we weren't besties, I would say we were close. I'm 29, she's 27. We went on vacation together and shared a room. She was going to attend my wedding, and about 2 weeks before the date, when I sent out details about the bachelorette party, she just texted me back, I'm no longer attending your wedding. That was all. I asked if something was wrong, if she wanted to talk about it, but no response. Many guests were confused she wasn't there and asked me later. The only explanation I could come up with was that maybe about a month before everything happened, I was going to buy one of her courses. It's a marketing course, and I wanted it for a while, but had to save up for it because it was around 1,000K. I guess the pricing changed if they had a sales call to get the course instead of the sign-up version. It used to be, and the course ended up being 3 times the price. I still signed up, although I was unsure about it, but the sales rep didn't show up to a follow-up call that night, and after they hadn't responded or sent me full materials in 48 hours, I asked for a refund. I was absolutely professional at any point of that conversation with the sales rep, so it still confused me. I never expected it to affect the relationship to the point someone would basically ghost me. I shared the story with 2 of my friends that asked, and everyone said it sounds off and how people change, but it really didn't help me understand or make peace with what had happened. I assumed that even if something hit a nerve, a friend would have just asked me about it. Never would I have assumed someone who was attending my wedding would be able to cut me out like that. She didn't attend my wedding and went completely silent, and I'm not sure what to do. I'm still debating if I should say anything at some point. I would apologize if I knew about what it was I was apologizing for. I would just leave it alone. Because, she's the one who ended things. She didn't offer any explanation. So don't go hounding her about trying to get one. You know, I don't know if she's a bridezilla. She just, the girl just didn't want to do it. I mean, she wasn't going to be in the wedding. She was just going to be a guest. So, the bridezilla work term usually comes from the wedding party people. They're the people who have to interact with them while they're doing all the wedding planning. If you're just a guest, you just show up. But, I really wouldn't worry about it too much. You had your wedding, you know, she wasn't there. Big whoop-de-doo. Wedding still happened. You still had a good time. You still married. Nothing changed. With her not being there didn't really have any impact on your life. So just let it go. If she wants to reach out and feel like talking to her, then talk to her. If you don't, then say fuck you, bitch, and block her. I mean, what you want from me? I really don't care. I wish I couldn't have been, I mean, didn't have to show up for my wedding. I just hate all that stuff, all that frou-frou and all that, people crying and shit, and the jealous exes that, didn't get picked. They sitting there in the audience just glaring at you because they mad that they not the bride. And then, the family's all tripping like, oh my God, he finally found somebody that's want to be married with his ass. So they excited. And everybody on my family side is it's like, oh shit, we broke now. And it's just so many emotions at weddings. I was just didn't want to be bothered. Question number 18. Female 18 to 21. She's Latina from Allentown, Pennsylvania. The male is 18 to 21 and he's white. Summary issue. I'm starting to become more and more bothered by my boyfriend's work ethic. Me and my boyfriend, we're both 20, have been together for a year, and I'm usually very happy in the relationship. He is generally the sweetest and most caring person in the world. But recently, something started to bother me more and more. While I've made a few comments to him about it, I haven't outright said anything. My boyfriend is fortunate enough to work for his successful family business. So right after high school, he was given his job. He did train and learn the ropes, but nearly for the past year, he works maybe 2 weeks out of the month. He gets paid full time for it, so big whoop, right? Him not working as much doesn't bother me. It's the little things that come with it. For example, there are plenty of days my boyfriend will be up an hour late from work and won't text or notify anyone on his team or family. It's not a big deal to him. During work breaks, he'll take naps and then leave work early to nap more. He'll be fully energized at night and then crash, which is why he comes to work late every day. I know family dynamics are different, but to me, it's just not very respectful. I don't want him to take his job for granted because other family members have been booted from the business for poor behavior. He also complains when he does have to work. I mean, I get it, but I complain about clocking in every day too. But he's working like 2 hours max for 2 weeks and then getting paid like he's working 40. It's not just regular complaining, it's full on paragraphs of rants. I also need to know about requesting days off weeks in advance. And my boyfriend sometimes get annoyed that I have to work or that I just can't leave and take off work to be with him. I may be coming off as a jealous hater, but I'm not. I work full time and make really, really good money for my age, and I don't have many bills. I have evenings free and 2 days off a week, so I'm not saying that I work harder than any other person. I just feel like it's disrespectful and, quite frankly, lazy. I know none of us would work if given the opportunity, but I don't know. I just wish that he would be on time and show his family and team that he takes his job seriously. We're young, we have our entire lives to work, so maybe it's just bitterness and I'm already there and he just gets to chill. I'm not even sure I explained this in a way that makes sense, but I want my boyfriend to have goals and discipline and a work ethic that shows he cares about what he's doing. What can I do about this? How can I go about bringing this up so that I can feel fulfilled? I love my boyfriend and he's amazing. I just feel myself becoming more and more bothered by this. My boyfriend will be 3 hours late to work today because he wants to nap. That's what prompted this letter. Okay, so you with a bum. He a dusty. Yeah, Dusty. So I'm gonna say this. You want a boyfriend who's got goals and discipline and a work ethic. This ain't that dude. So what are you gonna go do about it? I mean, you sitting up here like you want him to change. It's a grown man. He's not gonna change. If his parents can't get him to change, what makes you think you can? Girl, stop wasting your time and just dump his ass and move on to somebody else. Okay? You're gonna keep spending time with him and getting more and more disgusted until you lose all respect for him, and then it's gonna be, really a bad scene. That's where this is headed. And a woman to maintain love with a man, she must respect him. So you about to fall out of love, and so this is gonna be interesting. Question number 19. Female, 22 to 27. She's mixed race, a Virgo from Chandler, Arizona. Summary of issue. I am in my very first relationship, but my boyfriend's ex is making me feel extremely uncomfortable. My boyfriend and I started talking at the end of June and asked me to be his girlfriend at the end of July. Before we got together, he was in a 3-year relationship that ended sometime in April. I understand that may seem quick transition as a red flag, but I truly believe we are both growing individually and together. Well, of course you agree. You would think that because you're young. He's 21, intelligent, and incredibly thoughtful, currently in his second year of a doctorate program, and I am 22. I'm an incoming MS1. Our relationship feels grounded, and we have 99% of the time open communication and respect each other's boundaries. That said, his ex has been a recurring presence since we started dating. She frequently spammed him with texts, and while he doesn't initiate contact, he did text her last week to say he's dating me. She responded with a long, emotional text calling him awful and expressing her hurt. I can sympathize with her feelings, especially as a queer woman who's experienced various dynamics in past with connections with men and women alike. Oh my God, y'all in this. However, she just said things like, I hope you get deja vu every time you're with her and don't call her baby, implying I'm just a replacement for her, and even telling him that we are the exact same person. He only responded with apologies. He tends to be passive, which makes me uncomfortable because I would have blocked her by now if the roles were reversed. They will still follow each other on all social media platforms, and she still has their pictures up. On TikTok, she posts indirect videos about him, and her friends comment negatively about our relationship. When I bring this up, he shuts down or goes quiet, which leaves me feeling like there's more that he's not saying. I've tried to give them both grace, him because I truly believe he loves me, and her because I understand the emotional or lack thereof, for better words, crash out. But I also feel like I'm not being fully respected by either one of them. That's right, you ain't. When I asked mutual friends about her, they said he was emotionally manipulative and possessive. She was mostly manipulative and possessive throughout the relationship, even if he didn't notice it. The whole situation is making my first serious relationship feel really unsettling. I've never dealt with anything like this, and he's my first love. I'm not sure how to approach it or what steps I should take to feel more secure and respected. Any advice, please? Well, I would go to the young lad and I would say, do you have any plans to uh, eradicate this woman from your life. And you tell him, I need to know what your plan is here. Are you going to block her? Or are you going to continue to allow her to have, hey, Candace, to impact our life? And see what he says. Anything other than I'll do it right now means that you don't have a relationship. You just you just filling in for her. And those kind of relationships where people are manipulative and controlling, and he's kind of weak and passive, those are the hardest for them to get past for some reason. They really struggle with that. Have a hard time. So I'm going to say that's all you really need to do. Ask him what his plan is for that. And if he gives you any other answer other than let me do it right now, or I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do it, tonight or in 20 minutes or whatever, after I tell her something. I mean, the answer has to be something along the line of yes, I'm on that page. I see the point. I'm going to do it like soon, real soon, like today. Anything other than that, then you just tell them, well, thank you for the however many months y'all been together. And no, that's a different Candace. I think hers is Candace W. So that's what you need to do. And then you'll know what steps to take, which would be most likely this relationship is going to be coming to an end. I appreciate that you're astute enough to recognize, what's going on and to put it in such an articulate it so well, so that you really get a good picture of what's going on. But he's not emotionally, he's still attached to her. So whatever things he's doing with you, he's spinning his wheels. He can't really love you because he's still in love with her. Question number 20. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. We got 26 questions today. 26 questions. She's from Carlsbad, California, summer issue partner, and his quote, just joking, end quote. Hi, Deb. I'm ready for your perspective because I'm starting to feel really confused about how I'm being treated. The other night during a conversation, my partner, he's 31, 3 years older than me, said something like, yeah, because I totally wanted to get a girl with 3 kids pregnant. It honestly messed with my head. It made me feel like he regrets being with me or thinks I'm some kind of burden. I literally couldn't sleep after that. He also told me that I've gone down since moving out of our apartment. And I said maybe it's because I've been pregnant and going through a lot. And that's when he threw in that comment again about me being pregnant with 3 kids. It made me feel really small and judged. Later, he said I don't have any career goals. That's really stung because it's not true. Before I got pregnant, I was bartending and making good money. That's actually what allowed me to stay financially afloat while I was pregnant. He didn't want me in the club scene anymore, so I respected that and started trying to build something new for myself. Since then, I've gotten my real estate license and got certified as a personal trainer. While pregnant, I've made about 10,000 from real estate so far, but I also spent about 3,000 getting everything set up. I've been putting in effort. I'm not just sitting around. I also been thinking about going into ultrasound tech eventually, but I want to give personal training a solid year first. I'm tired of bouncing around. I just want to find stability. What bothers me the most is how he talks to me. He said things that clearly hurt my feelings, and when I bring it up, he tells me he was just joking, that he can't say anything without upsetting me. I'm starting to feel like I'm being made out to be overly sensitive or dramatic, like I'm crazy for even feeling hurt. I'm starting to feel disrespected and emotionally confused. Am I overthinking or is this a red flag? Well, the red flag was you already got 3 kids and yeah, you having a fourth with somebody who's stupid. That the red flag is what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? Okay? And you only in the 28 to 34 age group with 4 kids. What are you thinking about? And you don't even really have, no career path and stuff. You're trying to find one in between having all these miscellaneous raggedy men's babies. Yes, I'm talking to you harshly because what you're doing is stupid. And how you setting yourself up. So now you and the kids have to be in an extra struggle for supporting a kid that you didn't have to have with some dusty ass clown that you didn't have to get pregnant by. So I mean, I can't really feel too sorry for you because you're making a series of stupid choices. By the time you had 1 or 2 kids, okay, that should have been enough. That should have taught you, okay, like my grandmother used to say, once is a mistake, twice is a habit. And by the time you get on third, 3, and fourth, well, that's just a lifestyle. Okay, so you chose a baby mama lifestyle. And now you mad because somebody's calling you out on it and saying my feelings are hurt. But then what you do that for then? If you want to live that lifestyle and then people gonna call you out on it, then don't say nothing. You cannot say anything. I mean, I know it's hurting your feelings, but like I said, you brought this on yourself. These are some situations. Just you okay? If you already had the 3, you definitely didn't have to have this last one that you're still pregnant with. What were you thinking? So I don't know what it is that you're looking for me to tell you. Go ahead and try all these different career paths until you find something that settles in that works for you. Hey, Shay, but I get it together, chick. Get on some birth control. Don't have no more kids. Get your tubes tied or something. 4 is plenty for any one woman to have. My God. Question number 21, male, 22 to 27, from Aberdeen, Scotland. Summer issue. Did I come off as creepy? There's a woman that works at a I don't know. Why is that funny to me? Okay, there's a woman that works at a local market by my house. I have seen her in there a couple of times over the past couple of weeks. Haven't really had any conversations, whatever, other than just the basic have a nice day stuff. We made a lot of eye contact back and forth from across the front end of the store. I left the store with my groceries and loaded my car. Realized I forgot something, so I went back in to grab it. I didn't see her outside on my way back to my car, but she saw me in the parking lot and said, "Hey, weren't you just in here?" I replied, "Uh-huh, yeah, there's something I forgot." I was nervous, so that was all that came out of my mouth. And then I left after to have a good rest of your day from her. I was kicking myself for not going further with the conversation, so I went back to hand her a note with my number on it. I said, "Hey, I realized there was something else I forgot last time." It was something like, "Here's my number. Shoot me a text if you want to chat." Did I mess up? Mm, I don't know. I don't think so. They don't sound too threatening or anything. You know, she probably, thought, well, this guy like has no savvy, no game, no swag at all. He's so awkward. So she probably thought it was more cute than creepy. But I wouldn't worry about it. If she calls you or hits you up, but then you won. Okay. If not, then you'll still see her at the store, and then you can just, don't act stupid though. When you see her, don't bother her. Just wave and say hi, or some little basic shit. Unless she walks up to you and says, "Oh, I lost that paper with your number on it." Okay. Yeah, but most women don't want to give out their number. So he did. I think he did it. He did right. He offered her his. I think that was good. I'm just, wondering what she's going to do about it. He wanted to know if it came off as creepy, and I don't think that was his actual question. Was that creepy? And I don't think it was. I think it was cute. And I think it was very non-threatening. You didn't like get too close to her and harass her or, make any negative comments about something out of pocket or under clothes or nothing. It was just very innocent. And I think if she responds positively, it should be okay. Question number 22. This is a male 22 to 27 from Atlanta. Summer issue. Should I tell girls about my past Nook encounters? No, under no circumstances. I don't even need to read the letter. This is a mistake for you to even consider. I'm 22. A few months ago, I met with a guy on Grind. Ooh, we didn't have Nook, but we did other stuff. I didn't like the experience at all, and now know that I am not bisexual. I got tested for STDs and everything came out clean. I'm 100% healthy in that way. I've since started seeing a couple of girls just hanging out and being friends, nothing serious. But if anything did develop to another stage with one of them, should I tell her about this experience? Hell no. Take it to your grave. I mean, I don't want to lie by omission. You better, but I don't feel like this experience represents the person I want to be from now on. It was something I did in the heat of the moment. What do you think? I think under no circumstances, whether you're hetero, gay, lesbian, Martian, whatever, should you talk about past sexual experiences with other people. I say this all the time. Women make this mistake. They go, oh, I just want to be honest. Bitch, shut up. Don't say shit to men. Men don't want to hear about what you did with other men. Are you out of your mind? What make you even think that some shit like that is something you should be doing? And dudes, women are the same way. They want to hear about this shit. And if you start trying to do, well, this and that person hit on me, and I used to do this and that with this other, you come across as arrogant prick, like you're trying to intentionally make her jealous and insecure. And it's very distasteful. It's not gentlemanly behavior because gentlemen don't kiss and tell. So it should be nothing that you should be talking about with woman X that you did with woman A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, and D, you keep that over there. And you only dealing with Lady X. You only talk to Lady X about what you're doing with Lady X. That's how you do it. You know? Just- yeah. Don't say shit. I just don't even understand it. Why people have this urge to just get themselves in some shit by talking about people from the past. Don't nobody give a shit about what you did, when you did it, who you did it with. Nobody cares. Okay? Just keep that to yourself, right in your diary or some shit. Nobody wants to hear that. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Especially you're gonna drop a bomb like this, you would be the dumbest dude walking the face of the earth if you did this shit. Okay? It's not their business. Don't you talk about this, and don't you talk about any other women either. Question number 23. This is a female 28 to 34 age group from Columbia, Maryland. The male's 35 to 41. Third issue. My boyfriend told me to grow up because of my wants when I'm having PMS symptoms. I feel hurt and unsupported. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. He is 40, I'm 30. He always had sympathy for women and states men are lucky to not have to deal with PMS. I'm currently a few days away from my menstrual period starting, and mood swings are hitting me pretty hard. I try to keep to myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed by staying silent or keeping to my space. When I'm unable to hold it in, I tend to show irritability or suddenly tear up because of the overwhelming emotions. Earlier this week, he asked me, what do you need from me when you're in a crabby mood? I did not like the way he phrased the question, but I ignored it. I told him I would really appreciate extra love and support during this time. You're supposed to tell him, when I'm in a crabby mood, I need you to get the fuck out of my face and stay the hell away from me. That's what I need. I need you to go somewhere and stay there until my cycle's over. Don't you call me. Don't you text me. Don't you look at me. That's what I need. That's what I would tell his ass. The fucker. Okay, but let's see what else happened. This morning was one of those days I let my tears come down. What? Why are you crying though? He asked me what was wrong, and I told him that I'm feeling emotional, likely due to PMSing. He laughed and changed the topic. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. This upset me as I was hoping to receive comfort. A few hours after our conversation this morning, he asked how I was feeling, and I told him I was actually more upset now than I was before because he didn't seem to care about how I felt. If I needed comfort or anything from him, it made me feel neglected. He told me that crying because of PMS isn't a good enough reason for him to put in more of an effort to comfort me and that I need to grow up. I'm hurt by his response. I'm not asking for grand gestures, just a little more love and empathy during this time. Bitch, it's not like your ass is in labor. Fuck out of here with this. So I'm wondering, is it unrealistic expectation to want affection and emotional support during this time? Yes, it is. How can I have better communicated my needs? Wrote it in a diary to told somebody who might care because it ain't him and it's not me either. Am I overreacting for feeling hurt? Yes, your big ass baby. Any advice or thoughts would be great. If you take your ass to the doctor and get you some, or go to the pharmacy and get you some B complex vitamins and start taking that shit. That's what'll help you with these mood swings and this crying shit. Nobody wants to hear that. You thinking, I think that must have got you some attention when you was a kid from your parents and stuff. So you trying to take that into adulthood. That's why he said grow up. Nobody's gonna be sitting around babying you every month. You out your rabbit ass mind. Yeah, that's what I mean. She should do something like that. But it's like, to go into actual tears, men don't, that's not gonna help them. They could probably understand if you was in labor or something, but this is some shit you've been dealing with since you was a teenager, every month like clockwork. So it's like, why are you still crying about it? Why haven't you figured out some way to mitigate it? How haven't you looked into, done some research on it, gone to the doctor about it? I mean, there's information all over the internet about the nutritional supplements that help with PMS and cramps and everything else. Why haven't you done any of that to been like proactive to make yourself feel better? Why do you think that the responsibility for you feeling better, it should be on his shoulders? That's why he's talking to you like that. And that's why I'm giving you this reality check. And when he said grow up, that's exactly what you need to do. Take responsibility for your situation. It's your health condition, it's your cramps, it's your PMS. Nothing about that has anything to do with him. I mean, if you want him to go to the store and get you some pads and some chocolate or something, I'm sure he would do that. But don't be sitting up there crying about it. That shit is just irritating as fuck. You know, something she got to do something. She needs it, but she's responsible for doing it. Like O'Shea just said, Snickers, some motion, and a little space player. Okay, so that's somebody who's she knows what she needs, and it's all things that she's totally capable of providing, and she knows, understands the situation, and she's not looking for nobody else to make her feel better. She knows what's going to make her feel better. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't get it. All this putting all this, dumping all this responsibility and expectation on somebody else like a big ass baby. Get out of here. Question 24. This is a female, 28 to 34. She's black and a Pisces from Denver, Colorado. Summary of issues. Guys only want to F asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Deb, she flew with a whole bunch of bees. I am now 29 and writing to vent about how the dating pool truly sucks right now. Every guy I meet only wants to hook up. I've never get taken on dates anymore, so nothing goes anywhere. It's like dead ends everywhere I turn. I can't even lie. It's starting to take a toll on my self-esteem. I feel like guys just want to use me. That's because they do. I'm currently in school pursuing my master's. I have a great career. I'm self-sufficient, etc. I never asked for anything, but I expect a guy to at least be a gentleman and try to court me. Psh, good luck with that. At least take me out to do something. They don't even want to do the bare minimum anymore. My gosh. It doesn't even have to be expensive. I like art museums. You know what? If you date black men, they not doing that. I like coffee. I like walks even. I talk to my sister every day, and guys always want to take her out and spend money on her. Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. Must be the way that your sister, and just flatly, it must be the way your sister looks. So that there's something about her that they want to go off and show off that they're with her. That's one way that that happens. Now, does that mean that she's getting treated any better, like in a relationship? No. It just means they want to brag, show off to their friends that they got a date with her for something about the way she looks. There's, 99% of the time, guys in their 20s, it's about the woman's looks. So something about the way that your sister looks that the guys want to, you know, pay to have her on their arm. It sounds like Denver. Well, that's what hey, did she say Denver? Where did she say? Oh, yeah, it is Denver. Oh, so that's the best that I can say. But you're talking about guys just want to use you and they don't even want to do the bare minimum. That's very true. And you know why? Because they get away with it. Because so many young women will step up and do it for them. They won't even drive and pick the dude up. Like he's Miss Daisy. You're driving around, you see these clowns in the passenger seat of these girls' cars. The girls be having nice cars. Dudes be having a bus pass. Or they got them no license because they got DUIs up to yin yang and stuff like that. Losers. Just losers. And the girls, gotta fill in the blanks for them, and because they just so desperate to have a man. I guess I don't know what that's all about, but I'm like, clown, you better get you a bus pass, a zip card, or whatever they call them things, the little commuter cars. What's some little cars called in the Bay Area? The little blue cards. You better get that shit and take Bart. Bart is your friend because you ain't getting in my car. My car. Okay, you guys remember I bought my car. It's a 2022 model. I bought it in January 2023. My car doesn't even have 10,000 miles on it yet. It might have it, like I might have made it this week. I don't know. 'Cause I was doing a lot of work teaching, driving for those classes I was teaching. I just, because I mostly do my work at home, so I don't be going nowhere. They're dead on like waiting to exhale. Damn. Yeah, I think so too, Mo. That's why I mentioned, she might want to take a objective look at her sister and see what is, what her visuals are. because that's what the guys in that area are attracted to. And so if you want to get dates with men like what your sister's going out with, then that means you got to look like your sister. Whatever presentation she's putting forth, just imitate that. I don't mean exactly, but I mean, whatever kind of way she's put together, you need to do the same. Hook your hair up, do your makeup, whatever she's doing. Question number 25. This is the next to last question. Oh, God, this looks long. This is a young lady, 28 to 34. She's black, an Aquarius from Chicago. The male is 28 to 34, and he's a Gemini. Oh, so I have an issue. My boyfriend gets upset when I tell him how I feel. My boyfriend is 29, and he gets upset when I ask him for help around the house. We lived together for a year, and in the beginning, things were fine. But now he makes a fuss or procrastinates whenever I ask him to help. I'm 28 and 9 months pregnant. I shouldn't be cleaning his cat's litter, but no one else does it, and I can't stand living in a stinky house and move out. Why is this even an issue? Every time I ask him, he gets mad, huffs and puffs, and then waits till a few days later to do it. By that time, I've already done it because the smell is unbearable, and his cat will start to pee around the house if her litter box is nasty. It's come to the point where he cleaned the litter box 3 times in the last 3 weeks, and he hasn't touched it once or even mentioned it. You know what he would happen? He would come home from work and he would be looking for that cat. I would have called somebody and said, "Come get this Michael, this fucking cat. Take this cat, and I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but it better not ever come back into this house." And then he'll come back looking for his cat, and I said, "Well, I don't know what happened to it. I had the door open because I was cleaning, sweeping up, walk, and the cat ran out, and I haven't seen it since." And he'll be like, "Well, you lost my cat. Sucks to be you, I guess." I wouldn't really give a shit. I mean, he just wouldn't have a cat anymore. It's dangerous for pregnant women to clean cat boxes. All the doctors talk about that. I forget what the little disease is called, but it could be very deadly for the fetus. So, while you clean and worrying about that, you should just call the SPCA, tell them to come get the fucking cat. You're pregnant, you can't clean the litter box, and they'll come get it. Okay. He knows it's dangerous to clean litter box during pregnancy, but he still doesn't do it himself. And I'm extremely tired of asking him to do it because one, his negative energy reaction, and number two, it doesn't get done. Then they'll say, "I never asked you to do it," and well, then don't do it. Cleaning the litter box, taking out the trash, helping with dishes, carrying the heavy groceries line, and carrying the laundry bag up and down the stairs are his only chores. My cousin and her sons have been living here in our basement for about 2 months now, so they've been cleaning the dishes and taking out the trash. Since my boyfriend doesn't help me when I ask, the groceries are sitting in the car for hours until he feels like grabbing them. Eventually, I'll end up bringing them in, or my cousins and her sons will. Same goes for the laundry. Right now, 2 full bags of clean laundry have been sitting in the laundry room for 3 days waiting to be taken upstairs. So essentially, for the past 2 months, the only chore has been to clean the cat's litter and lift heavy things occasionally. I literally do everything else. Okay, so she lists all this other stuff. Plus, I take my 5-year-old daughter from my prior marriage to the park. I bathe her, I play with her, feed with her, and whatever else moms do. It seems like I'm mothering him as well. We both work and get 2 days off. I clean and cook and mother every single day and on my days off. On his days off, he likes to sleep and game. The days he works, he likes to sleep or game. He'll spend quality time with me, and I love that. Occasionally, he'll plan a day with my daughter. I pay the mortgage and homeowners insurance, and he pays the gas, water, electric, internet, and groceries. I honestly have no problem with him not wanting to sleep or game, but his lack of responsibility and effort is what really sets me off. So I think these extremely negative thoughts all day while I'm cleaning and he's sleeping or gaming. But when I confront him, I try my best not to sound resentful or frustrated. He still gets defensive. Okay, then she'll go on and on. Days after our arguments, him completely dismissing me and shutting me out, we can finally talk about what was said. He would basically say, "You called me a piece of shit, and I don't do shit, and I ain't shit, so that motivates me to not be shit." Okay, well then he ain't shit. Then get rid of him. I'm trying to figure out. Well, see what I really want to understand is you got a clown like this. Why did you decide to have him be the father of your child? Don't you understand that when you had this damn baby, all the stuff that you're doing now, you're gonna have to do everything for this new baby too. He's not gonna do shit. I don't understand these women having all these kids by these clowns. What in the world are you thinking? If you're gonna have a baby by somebody that you're not married to, the man ought to at least have some sense, some money, some concern, some be a support system for you and the kid. I mean, there has to be some benefit that he's bringing. not just some rando that you just happen to lay up with and get pregnant by. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What kind of example is this for your daughter of how to conduct herself as an adult woman? This is a piss poor example that you're setting here, lady. I don't know what you're doing, but you want to complain about him. Well, I mean, then pack your shit and leave. What you want? Or kick him out. You paying the mortgage and stuff, so that must mean it's your house. Just kick his ass out. Tell him to get out because he's not bringing nothing to the house anyway. Not doing shit. He pays the gas and stuff, but your cousin and her sons can chip in and pay that. All y'all living there, they living there too. They shouldn't be living there free because all them extra people run up the water bill, the light bill, the electricity bill, the heating bill. So they should be contributing financially. I really curious about what in the world is up in your head that is passing for a brain because you not thinking at all about nothing sensible. Our last question of the day, question number 26. What is this? Why is there so much paper here? Oh, it's a recipe I want to try. Question number 26. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Chesapeake, Virginia. Summary of issue. Am I overreacting that the guy I'm dating wants 4 kids, but also expects the woman to work full time in order to bring in a second income? So, is he smoking? Is something? Is it crack? Okay. The guy I'm dating told me that he wants at least 4 kids. We are both 30. He never even asked me how many kids I would want. I asked him if he would want the mom to stay home, and he said no, because he would need the extra income in order to support the 4+ kids. He then brought up how his mom had a full time job and still managed to have 5 kids. His mom was stupid. His mom is also the breadwinner of the family. His dad made 1/3 of what she makes before he retired. Am I crazy to think this is ridiculous? I am not against women working, and I know that being a stay-at-home mom can put you in a vulnerable position. But the idea that he wants a woman to have a ton of kids and also work full time just so he can have a second income seems delusional to me. And I hope you told his ass that. Tell him that had already decided that you're not going to have any children with any man unless he has a $1 million. He put a $1 million or at least $500,000 um, account set up for the kid, a trust account, trust fund. And then they're gonna be looking at you like all kind of crazy, like, what? Okay, no bueno. And you don't say, well, then you don't get no kid. Not just one kid, definitely not 4, because then that would be 400, 500,000 times 4, because each kid has to have their own trust account. And you thinking somebody gonna be doing all of that, taking care of four kids, plus working a job, plus commuting, plus cooking, plus cleaning, plus doing homework and changing diapers and babysitting and PTA runs and all the stuff, combing hair and doing all stuff that you think I'm gonna do all that. Well, then they come back with, well, my mama did it. Yeah, but your mama was stupid. Do I look stupid? Do I look like your mother? I'm not doing that shit. So if that's the kind of lifestyle you want to leave, you may as well hit the door now, home skillet, because that ain't happening. Not over here. 50 cent a drop. Leandra. Yeah, I mean, this dude he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind because he would need the extra income for the 4 kids. No, motherfucker. I don't know what you're gonna do about your 4 fantasy kids, but they ain't gonna happen with me. I have my Motown shirt on, Motown. Forgot to show you guys I have so many t-shirts. I probably have 100 different t-shirts with weird things on them. But yes, that's it for today's show. Thank you everybody who came. It's good to see you always and all the usual suspects here. And Leandra been around a lot this week. That's kind of amazing. Don't see her, and then all of a sudden she be here, showing up. I guess scamming she taking a break from her scamming. Yeah, I would be like, these people tonight were really interesting. But anyway, let me put this across here one more time for those of you who maybe didn't catch it. If you would like to submit your question to the show, the next show we'll do will be next Sunday. That's how you do it. You log on to debsterism.com. and hit the tab that says Get Advice. And then you will be able to submit your question. And Candace, my lovely cousin, will go and see if she wants to put your question in the column. And then if it is, then I will read it and give you an answer. That's how it works here. Okay. Everything's off the cuff, nothing's practiced or rehearsed. It's all just is what it is. Sometimes I think of stuff I could have said later, but too late. All right. So I'll see you guys next Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week and behave. Don't get no trouble. I'll see you then.